ladies and gentlemen, to the AR Wrestling Podcast. This week on SmackDown, Money in the Bank qualifiers officially get started. We'll get into the results of that, of course. But first, Alex, my co host, how are you doing today?
Tired.
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 Really?
It's been a long day. I've been up since 7:30, and I still have a few other things to get done throughout the day, and it's currently 5:20 p.m.
Damn straight it is. Damn straight. But we vibing. We thriving. I woke up at like 2 in the afternoon. That's the perks of working night shift. But yeet.
Yeet.
If you're ready for it, we're gonna jump right down into SmackDown because I
Let's
can't
do
really
it.
think of much wrestling news. I
Let's
mean,
do it.
other than AEW Collision literally cutting off 30 minutes before the broadcast was supposed to for
What?
everybody.
That
Yeah,
is
so like
wild.
AEW's broadcast on the East Coast cut out at the 90-minute mark when it's a 2-hour broadcast. And Tony Khan posts later like, "Oh, it's a broadcast issue. It's going to be posted on the West Coast. It'll be fine. It's going to be posted on the West Coast in full length." And then it was posted not in full length on the
That is
West Coast
wild.
as another broadcast issue took place. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently, the whole thing is posted on their streaming service on Max Plus. So
Got you.
only thing I really got to think of. But once again, we're going to shout out R.I.P. to Sabu, who did pass away this week. A legend, of course. Just one
Rip
more mention
Sabu.
of that. And we're going to jump right on into SmackDown review.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. We're going to see Joe Tessitore, of course, opening it up as usual, hyping up the world title match tonight. It's Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Then we get a replay of highlights from BackLash and Solo Sikoa, accompanied by Jacob Fatu and Jeff Cobb, now known as JC Matoa, comes to the ring. He tells us all to welcome the newest member of the family, the man who helped keep the United States title in the family, JC. And Solo explains to everyone that Roman ruined everything by losing the title to Cody Rhodes, and it ruined everything for them, but he's here to take it all back. And that starts with winning the Money in the Bank qualifier tonight. And anyone that got a problem with that is going to get dealt with by JC and the Samoan werewolf. And he looks at Jacob and he's like, "Hey, yo, check it, because I'm all gas and no break." Oh, and he gets the mic stolen from him by Fatu. How you gonna steal his shit? How you
Oh
gonna steal
God.
it? That's the
Can't do
Samoan
that.
werewolf.
He's a
He
freak.
told everyone that he was going to bring the title into the family with Solo or without him. So line up anyone that got a problem with it because he can deal with it all by himself. Because at the end of the day, Jacob Fatu is all gas, no breaks with it. Yada I mean?
Fatu.
Two. Solo, of course, he knows what he means. Hell, JC knows what he means, and everyone here knows what Fatu means. The Solo says that he's only doing all this to help him because he loves Jacob. And that title around his shoulder is proof of how much he loves him. Now, there is something that he needs in return, and he asks Jacob about that thing that he used to say all loud and proud in front of everyone. He calls back to when Jacob would scream, "I love you, Solo!" And he wants him to say it again. Jacob does it, but he's clearly pissed off. He's like, "I love you, Solo." And Solo
Oh.
laughs that off and tells him that that's not how he used to do it. And he said, "Say it loud and proud," and he keeps pushing Jacob to say it again and again, eventually grabbing him by the shoulder to turn him to face him. And he goes, "Who do you love, Jacob?" And Fatu's clearly like pissed off. He takes the glasses off, ready to snap, but the mega star shows up. LA Knight, yeah,
Yeah.
attacks JC Matoa, dragging him out of the ring. And that's really all he does. He runs away after that. Damn straight. But more
Okay.
on that later, of course.
Of
Will
course.
come. How do we feel on JC Matoa and this group? This group's breaking up probably now.
I hope that how about Jacob beats Solo's ass? That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. Probably gonna be what's happening to the Solo Sikoa, former
Good.
enforcer. Gee, all right. Oh shit! Sorry, something almost dropped. All right.
Good.
We're gonna move on to backstage where Michin and BFAB are, and BFAB tells Michin that she needs to win Money in the Bank, and then they can go after the tag belts together. This is when Chelsea Green arrives, saying that she will win the briefcase, and soon they will create a new economic policy for everyone. And this is when my hopes got crushed because Alexa Bliss arrives, and she says that she's going to see Chelsea Green out there. There's no shot that she's beating Alexa Bliss for the qualifier. God damn it, I was so pissed off. Oh, the salt was real. Salt was real.
Salt was
Piper and
seething out of
Alba,
his
though,
mouth.
I was seething. I texted you at like 2, 3 in the morning whenever I was watching this to tell you about it. Oh, I was so mad. Piper and Alba tell her that it'll be okay. They will be there only for B-Fab to say everyone is barred from ringside. And this is when Chelsea Green pulls out the line of the night where she goes, I'm putting tariffs on mediocrity, and you guys are first.
God. But hey,
Fire.
before we get into more of this, we got somebody in the chat. What's going on? Crash, what's popping? So, but yeah, this whole thing with Chelsea Green is, I love it. I love it. I'm going to tell you. So I love that Chelsea's going down now. The green regime's going down.
God damn it.
Sorry,
No, they're not.
I've always been one to be against um all of that, all of Chelsea and their green regime.
Chelsea Green's standing tall. She will win this. I have hopes that there's going to be like a last second like way of her to qualify and get into the match. Like, please.
That'd be
Either
so
that
crazy.
or Piper has a qualifier. Piper wins her qualifier and then gives Chelsea her spot in the match.
What?
And then that's just gonna add fuel to the fire of them breaking up though.
Yes.
Because Piper will use that as fuel to be like, you made me give you my world title opportunity type thing or all that.
Yeah,
That's
she
my
really
idea
did.
behind it. But we'll get into that qualifier match now. For the women's Money in the Bank, it's Alexa Bliss, Michin, and Chelsea Green. And Chelsea's immediately eats shit and kicked out of the ring by Michin, and both of them work together to bully the History Maker until both of them are taken out by a dive phenomenal by Chelsea Green. Of course, salutes to her. Not very often, but sometimes I hate wrestling, and that's usually when people twerk for offense in a match. Cough, cough, Michin, cough, cough. Then Bliss gets some momentum until Michin runs in with a flying knee and a countered Unpretty Her to eat defeat on both women and a near fall for Michin. She's then taken out by both a Twisted Bliss and an Unpretty Her and rolls out of the ring, where Alexa hits Chelsea with the Abigail DDT for the win. And of course, my dreams were crushed. It's all sadness for the Green regime right now, but I'm holding out hope. We'll win the re-election.
God.
But in all reality, I'm pretty happy about Alexa Bliss being in this. How do you feel?
I am very excited that Alexa Bliss is on this, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Like, I know I joke about Chelsea Green and all that, but genuinely, for Alexa Bliss, I'm super excited for her.
I am too. I hope it does a lot for her than what it does for anyone else in this match. Like I know Alexa's older, and I said it in or I don't remember what episode I said it in here recently. But like, let the young stars get their shine. Well, Alexa got her shine, but I mean, she's back now. This whole thing with the Y6 is supposed to be going on. We don't even know.
And hopefully, that Wyatt Six stuff can get cooking off of this. Maybe in that ladder match, she is outnumbered by everyone teaming up on her, and then Nikki Cross can show up to help her. Maybe.
I like that.
Just an idea. Who knows?
Agreed.
I don't think she'll be winning it though. Without Chelsea Green in it, I really don't know who could win it without seeing the other qualifiers in it.
Really.
Yeah, who do you got though? If you got anyone, any early shout outs? Because I think there's only one other women's qualifier shouted out right now.
I don't know. Just I kind of want to see who all qualifies before I get mine out there.
Yeah.
Because I had Chelsea Green
Like
winning it.
that.
Now Chelsea's not here. What? I don't know who to. Don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. But moving on, we get a replay of Fraxium versus the Street Profits last week, which leads us into Fraxium versus DIY. I'll spoil it now. My highlight of the night. This match was fire.
Oh God.
Action packed, speedy as hell. All the near falls I wanted to see. and Ciampa and Axiom kick it off until Fraxium performs the dive train, with one sending Ciampa literally into the front row. And Johnny trips up Axiom as DIY take control outside of the ring, and Frazier tags in, running a million miles an hour against Gargano. Hits a Phoenix splash, so he attempts a springboard moonsault, only to get soul snatched midair by a super kick, and that was phenomenal. Then Frazier eats both an assisted fairy tale ending and a Project Ciampa kicking out. Fraxium later hits their superplex combo to Johnny, and Ciampa at the end, or at the last second, knees Axiom in the jaw to break it up. And Axiom and Johnny go blow for blow until Ciampa goes after his mask, and they trade roll-ups, giving Axiom the win. And after the match, DIY just jump them until the Motor City Machine Guns show up to make the save.
That match was insane.
It was pretty nuts. I'm excited to see. We got a tag title match confirmed between Axiom and them next week. I'm not going to be surprised if DIY gets involved in that, though.
I agree.
Unfortunately for that. But maybe this leads to a big multi-man match between all of them at like a SummerSlam or a Money in the Bank. Who knows?
Okay.
And then I see matches like this all the time now with these like with Fraxium, there, Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and I just think like, damn, these guys would be so good against the Usos.
Dude, I'm saying,
like, put the Prime Usos in this tag division. Oh my god, it'd be so crazy.
Well, it's not paranoia. It's the Usos.
It's the Usos. Straight up. We'll go backstage now, where Rey Fenix is warming up for his qualifier match later on tonight, and Andrade tells him good luck, and maybe they will meet again in the ladder match, and Fenix talks about losing at Mania, and now he's ready for the next level, that being Money in the Bank.
Let's go.
Solo then arrives with Fatu and JC, and he's wanting to know where LA Knight is, and he gets no answer. Then Fatu, sharing a look with each one of them, has me all like, come on, extend that U.S. title division a little bit.
I'm saying.
Put Andrade in there, put Phoenix in there.
Please.
Nerd. And
That's probably not going to happen, unfortunately.
Oh my god, I'd be so upset. But you're probably right, honestly. Let's be real. Now for Nia Jax warming up backstage. That's literally it. We see Naomi lurking in the background, though. And then, still backstage is Fraxium, where they run into the Street Profits, and this is where they congratulate them, and that they had just left the GM's office, and next week it is Fraxium and the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Yes!
Hell yeah!
Yes, finally.
It's about to happen.
Give me something different. I'm excited for this, especially for Fraxium, because they just got called up to the main roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I like the idea that now we've got an NXT team, or NXT stars now, that we're just pushing straight to the moon. Well, I mean, maybe not to the moon. Maybe they're not going to win them. I'd be surprised if they won them. But yeah, exciting shit. As well as Wade Barrett sitting down with R-Truth in an interview. Oh my god. I thought I was in a fever dream for this entire thing. None of it made sense in my brain. I just had to write down words. Wade asks him what's going on between him and John Cena, and he goes, we all got a lot of things going on in this world, but no matter what's happening, we can always count on John Cena. You know, we got bills, we got taxes, all this other shit he calls out, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck's what? He's the man that always preaches never give up. Hustle, loyalty, and respect isn't just a catchphrase, it's a beacon of light. Wade calls him crazy, and honestly, can you blame him at this point?
Yeah,
and Truth tries.
I feel bad for him.
He's gone. He's lost the plot. Truth tries to defend Cena again, saying he won the match by himself, and the man at the press conference wasn't the same person. The John Cena he knows wouldn't put his friend through a table. Only Truth, or our Truth, shit. Truth says that he would never fight John Cena. Dude, this is just how fucked up this has me. But he says that he would be willing to knock some sense back into him. That's literally it, though. You just said, like, at this
Yeah.
point, yeah, I just lost it. In fact, he's going to do it. He's talked to Nick Aldis, and a Saturday Night's main event, it's R-Truth versus John Cena for the title.
Oh, it is for the title. Oh God,
Yeah, it's for the title. Yeah. Um,
I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I don't know why you're
I'm
laughing.
excited for the match itself. This whole promo just had me brain dead, though.
R-Truth, the greatest wrestler we have on the current roster, versus John Cena,
He's taking
versus
on
the
his
guy you can't see.
childhood hero.
Versus dude, John Cena said at some point, I think in the week, he goes, "It doesn't make sense for me to be Truth's childhood hero." I'm like, dude, shut up, shut up.
Shut up! You're ruining my disbelief, John.
You
Come
were,
on
yeah,
now.
come on, you're supposed to
It
be doing your
makes
job.
sense. It makes sense in
Goodness.
my head.
Hmm.
It's yeah, I'm excited to see this. I actually heard that this probably isn't going to be the main event. I think Jey Uso's going to be main eventing Saturday night's main event, which
I hope
yeet.
so.
Oh yeah.
Yeet.
After that experience, though, I'll move on finally to Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes, who's accompanied by The Miz. And this was pretty fun, where Miz is backstage hyping up Melo, but he cuts him off, saying he's got it. He tells Aleister that last week he should have taken his head off when he had the chance, because now he can go ask the last guy what happened when they got beef, that obviously being Andrade. It's not over
God,
until Melo says it's over, and he gets his win because it's MOE Melo over everyone, because he is the 10th wonder of the world, because he is him. And a week ago was your grand opening, but tonight is your grand closing. We should let Melo cook on the mic a little bit more.
dude. Honestly, he was so good at NXT. I don't know why we're not utilizing him the way they did it, the way Shawn Michaels did. I don't know why Triple H isn't doing that. He was so
Seriously.
good. Like I thought he was gonna come
Seriously.
off hot after he like screwed over Trick Williams. Nothing.
He does not
Nothing.
need the Miz.
Honestly, he does not.
Nah, not in any way. He
If
can do this
anything,
shit
Miz
all
needs
by
him.
himself. Yes. Yes. And hopefully that's what this story turns into.
Hmm.
Is like Melo will realize that and turn on Miz, hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully we see the seeds planted for that in this match, as both match speed and skill off the bell, matching strikes and kip ups, but an early black mass is ducked by Melo, and he stands no shot as Alistair opens up with consistent strikes and hits a successful moonsault. And Melo's facebuster is answered with a meteor and a roundhouse kick, and Miz gets on the apron to distract the ref. So Black attempts a roll up, and Melo hits the first 48, but Black just eats that shit and knees him in the face. And he attempts Black Mass only to get jumped by The Miz, and that causes the DQ. And after the match, Melo attacks his knees as he's beating the shit out of The Miz and hits nothing but net.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna stick to the statement that you just said. Melo doesn't need the Miz. It's actually quite the opposite.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get The Miz out of this pairing and just run the feud between Black and Melo.
Honestly, it'd be such a good feud alone.
Hmm. I would hate to render Melo the guy that runs the um best of sevens or best of fives feud with like a lot of the new guys that come on the roster, but like
I kind of
that
like
kind
it.
of works. I kind of like
Yeah.
it though. Like Melo's a good guy to have in that spot. Like if you're gonna have someone be the guy that gatekeeps the roster and thinks that he's the top guy, but really he's just the gate opener, it's Melo.
Hmm.
And eventually, I feel like they definitely could push him up further up the card if they wanted to move him out of that spot. He is
I
him.
Melo is him. He deserves more than just the mid card in my eyes. That's a hot take.
Hmm. Yep, yep, yep. He does miss sometimes though, but
Does miss.
we'll go backstage now, where Byron Saxton catches up with Alexa Bliss, and he asks how it feels to be the first one to qualify for the Money in the Bank match this year. She says that it feels great, and she can't wait to be the first ever two-time Women's Money in the Bank winner. Forgot that that hasn't happened yet. There also hasn't been a first-time Women's Royal Rumble two-time winner. I worded that weird, but you know what I mean. She walks away, though, after seeing something off the screen, and Alexa walks up to none other than the Queen, Charlotte Flair, waiting outside of Nick Aldis's office. She wants to know if Charlotte has thought about what they talked about, and Charlotte says that they were never really friends, only for Alexa to call back to their NXT days, saying Charlotte was the only one that was decent to her, giving her any shade of a chance. She took her under her wing, and she never forgot about it. Charlotte clearly did, though, because she's got no recollection of that, she says.
Wait,
Both
did
of
you say
them get
there's no two-time women's winner?
for the Royal Rumble or the Money in the Bank.
Royal Rumble. Or were you talking about Money in the Bank?
Both.
Royal Rumble, Charlotte has two. 2020 and 2025.
Charlotte won too?
Yep. But for Money in the Bank, I don't think there's ever been a two-time.
I forgot Charlotte won this year's.
Yep. We had the whole
Oh,
thing with the Queen versus the Princess.
well, yeah, no shit. I forgot about that. I just forgot that that was because of the Royal Rumble. I remember
That's true.
Tiffy versus Charlotte. I just forgot that the Royal Rumble was how she got there.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah, for women's, I'm pretty
Um,
sure there's only one, unless you want to count technically Carmella.
hell yeah, let's go Carmella. Um, but as they are talking, both of them get cut off because who walks out of Nick Aldis's office? It's Julia. And I was losing my shit. I'm like, no way. We're
First
gonna
of
bump up
all,
the SmackDown roster like that for the
mm,
women's. Nick follows them and tells them both to welcome the newest member of the SmackDown roster. Then invites Charlotte into his office to talk about Money in the Bank. Before she goes in there, the Queen tells Alexa Bliss that if she wants to help, then she needs to stay out of her way because she doesn't need help. And after she walks away, Alexa tells her to keep telling herself that.
ooh,
Ominous.
just kind of throwing this out there. Kind of like, could we see the Wyatt Six to a degree, or go after Charlotte,
I would love that. That'd be crazy.
but not the entire Wyatt Six? It's just the women. You know what I'm saying?
Like Nikki Cross and Alexa, and now Charlotte has to hunt the roster for someone to help her.
Exactly.
But she's been such a bitch to everyone. No one's willing to help her against the Wyatts.
Type shit. Yeah,
Type shit.
basically.
There you go. I like that. I really like that actually. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeet.
Yeet.
Mm-hmm. But now, actually, I'll get into that later because that match card gets shown later when the SmackDown next week gets shown. For now, we get to Drew McIntyre who limps to the ring. And when he gets there, he gets his microphone, and he heard that Damien. Oh shit! What did I miss? Did I miss the Damien Priest promo? I completely skipped
Ooh.
over the Damien Priest promo before the Aleister Black Carmelo match that I had. Sorry about that.
You,
But before Aleister Black and Carmelo had a
oh
match,
my,
Damien
this
Priest had a
guy.
vignette. Oh my god! I know I'm an amateur. Sorry about that. Sorry, it's my first day here.
Yeah,
I'm just getting
stay in
started.
amateur
I'm
wrestling.
new.
I'll go to professional.
I'm
No, I'm
new. I'm
kidding.
new. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I'm
TK hired me. TK hired me. Damian Priest vignette. It feels like him and Drew are stuck in a cycle, getting in each other's business, costing each other opportunities after opportunities, and basically it boils down to him challenging Drew to Hell or not Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage at Saturday night's main event.
I'm excited for this.
Yep, because this is Drew's response, and he heard what Damien had to say earlier, and there's only one thing true about his video, and it's the violence that they've caused each other. He's stuck in a Drew McIntyre vortex. Drew has been stuck in the same vortex for over a year. That vortex, though, is the only reason that you are still relevant and that anyone gives a damn about you. Like, ooh, okay. Drew has been trying to get rid of him for months, beating him at WrestleMania, even in his own match type in a street match, street fight, whatever. He keeps coming back, and because he's obsessed with Drew, he knows what it's all about, though. It's jealousy. He looks at Drew and sees everything he's ever wanted, and he's done everything and would have been a Grand Slam champion at BackLash if not for him. He's willing to believe Damien when he says that he's willing to kill him, though, and after all, Damien was willing to slam him from a 15-foot platform so his head slammed on the concrete. Happened at Backlash. That was crazy. He agrees to meet him, though, inside of a steel cage and promises that only one man will walk out and the other is getting carried out on a stretcher.
let's just point out that he also put Drew through a windshield and caused glass to go into his eye.
That's right. That's right.
Damn
An
Skippy.
early prediction for this one though.
I say Drew comes out on top of this feud. Not just a match or the steel cage, but like the feud entirely.
That's what I want to say too. I want to say Drew really badly, but it's like something in the back of my head is like Damien though. Like they're gonna want to give Damien that win back, but I really want Drew to win this feud. I really
Mm-hmm.
want to come out on top, so I'm probably gonna be going for Drew in this one too.
Like we could
The
shake hands on
Scottish
that.
psychopath. We also get a rundown now after this of the run of the Saturday night's main event card. Cena versus Truth, Paul versus Uso. It's the tag match between Breaker, Rollins, and Punk and Sammy, and then this match, of course, the steel cage. I don't think there's any women's match has been confirmed for it yet.
Not yet.
We'll see. Probably gonna happen on Monday, I'd imagine.
Agreed.
But Drew is still walking up the ramp, and he's cut off by Solo Sikoa's music, and bro, it's still one of the best themes going right now. I still bump that shit in the gym all the time.
I had that shit bumping today actually.
Love that song. And of course, all of them stare off, and I really want the Fatu Drew McIntyre one-on-one feud at some point. And this is when we get into a load of bullshit. Because the men's Money in the Bank qualifier match is next, and it's Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix versus Solo Sikoa, accompanied by Jacob Fatu and JC Matoa. Why the hell are these two allowed at ringside, but the Green Regime was barred from ringside? I demand justice for Chelsea Green. Why are the Samoans allowed at ringside, but not the Green Regime? Explain that.
Just
Explain it.
fuck it.
Nah, this is bullshit, and I demand justice for Chelsea, and she better be raising hell about this next week. Because in her match, everyone's barred from Money in the Bank qualifier match at ringside for the women, but nah, for the men, for the bloodline, they're allowed to. Load of bullshit.
That's insane.
That's all I got to say on that. That's all. Genuinely, when I was watching this, I got heated about that. I'm like, that is so dumb. How are you going to be that inconsistent? Because it's not even just a jokingness for Chelsea Green. Like, that is kind of just inconsistent as shit.
Agreed.
But whatever. That's just nitpicky, if anything, at the end of the day. We get a promo from Big Jim on his way to the ring where he tells us that he's getting ready for a big win on his way to Money in the Bank. And come on, I didn't really believe him. Come on now, Big Jim. You ain't been doing much. Solo immediately guns for Phoenix, though, throwing him to Jimmy for a double team, and Jimmy denies that and works with Phoenix instead. And after trading chops and momentum, Phoenix and Jimmy are dragged out of the ring by Solo, and Phoenix midair later gets caught midair with a spinning Solo, or as Joe on commentary called it, the Solo Slam. I like that one better. Then gives one to Jimmy on the announcer's desk, and Charles Robinson missed the pin completely because he's just staring off into space. But that's by Phoenix, and Solo starts laying out everyone with Samoan drops and hip attacks. Solo, though, gets dealt with so that Phoenix can go ham and hit a goodbye amigos kick, and after Jimmy cuts him off with a spear, Jacob and JC get involved, letting Solo spike everyone for the win. That was that. Because once again, they're allowed to get involved, but not the Green Regime.
I was not very happy with Solo winning.
Oh, really?
I did not like Solo
Okay,
winning.
wait. Actually, yeah, no. Actually, me too. So, go ahead. Say what you were gonna say
You had
first, and I'll
literally
get
just
into my
talked
points.
about it. The Raw one. Phoenix and Penta could have been such a good additions. Jimmy Uso could have been good because now why are we only focusing on Jay? Let's do something with Jimmy too. I'm an Uso guy, so I mean that's just my thing.
Yeah, so I can agree wholeheartedly with Phoenix should have been in the Money in the Bank match, but like it's the same kind of deal that I have with Chelsea Green and Alexa Bliss winning. I'm fine with Solo being Money in the Bank being in the Money in the Bank match. I just wish it wasn't at the cost of Phoenix being in it.
Exactly.
And that's my perspective on it. I like Solo actually being in this match a little bit. It was a decent surprise that I was kind of happy about. Um, But yeah, I wasn't happy that it was at the cost of Phoenix being in it, personally. And I also think Phoenix took the pin, didn't he? If I'm not
I don't
mistaken, Phoenix
remember.
took the pin in this match. So come
I
on
don't
now, why
remember.
are we burying Phoenix like this? We should be
On some
treating
real
him like
shit.
Penta.
That
And
it's kind of fucked up they're doing him like it in my eyes.
yeah, it is very much. After the match, though, LA Knight arrives and he jumps all three of them with a steel chair, gets on the announcer's table, saves himself from slipping off of it and eating shit. That was kind of funny. And he holds ground until Nick Aldis arrives. He tells JC that this is SmackDown and LA Knight, that he cannot just go around attacking people with chairs. So here and now they are going to settle their differences inside of the squared circle. And in fact, that's what's going to happen. So he calls a referee, and JC can make his debut right now.
Come on.
Surprisingly, that's exactly what happens. It's LA Knight versus JC Matoa. Battle of people with two letters in their first name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking at JC Matoa before this match starts, and the only thing I'm thinking is, where the fuck is this bro's neck at?
He got no neck.
Like Otis, he's got no neck. JC repeatedly picks Knight up, though, with zero effort and starts clubbing away, wearing him down. Eventually, they spill outside where the ring post is used in Knight's favor. It's almost all of his signature moves, including a standing yabo, but JC does a wild standing moonsault, and Knight still gets enough energy to dive on Solo and Fatu. But that distraction is enough for Mateo to hit his spinning slam that is called Tour of the Islands for the win. Pretty dope. I like JC Matoa.
I'm
I mean,
I'm
that's all
interested
we've
to
seen
see
of
what they
him,
do
though.
more with him.
Literally from the 30-second match that he's had, I like it.
And it's kind of insane that he buried LA Knight like that when LA Knight was I think in talks at one point for being Money in the Bank or World Title contender or something like that. Because here's the thing: now LA Knight's going to have a qualifier match. What's going to happen? He's going to get called, or he's going to he's got the qualifier. What's going to happen? JC Mateo is going to come out and cost him the match. Or
Probably.
Solo.
Yeah, probably one of the Bloodline members is going to come out here, cost him the thing.
Exactly. It's unfortunate.
I just had a really. This could. You feel free to call this dumb, because I realize this kind of sounds really stupid, because every time it gets brought up, it's one of the stupidest Money in the Bank moments ever. But remember when Theory cashed in on the U.S. title on Seth Rollins
Yeah, we were
unsuccessfully?
just fucking talking about that the other day. I'm still
What if
pissed about that.
Solo wins this and uses it to cash in on Jacob's Money in the Bank? I understand that that's like, why would you do it on a mid card? But like, further that story that he's going to use this underhanded tactic to screw over Jacob and then run away like a little bitch.
Then I think this would be the second year in a row we've wasted the men's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And that's I like the fact of because look, this past year was Drew. He cashed in that same night. Damian cashed in at WrestleMania. After that or before that, it was Austin Theory with the Money in the Bank on Rollins losing that. And then it was Biggie. Then it was The Miz by taking the contract from Otis in a Hell in a Cell match. Kind of bullshit they did Otis like that, in my opinion.
Yep, justice
But
for
like,
Otis.
yeah, you have a lot of. I just don't want them to waste it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they wasted
Yeah,
it
definitely
last
for
year.
that.
So that's what I thought. That's what I think.
Yep. There's definitely still potential for them to not waste it, because we'll see who's in the next qualifier match. Hopefully, Aleister Black can win that one. But we get Santos Escobar backstage with Angel, and he wants to know where Berto is, and he has no answer. And Santos explains that he's willing to forgive him for what happened last week because he sees the bigger picture and he's worried about Berto and that he's listening to the wrong people. And he has an opportunity on the horizon that could change everything for LDF. But he needs Angel to bring Berto home, and Angel can't promise anything, but Santos doesn't want to hear that. He says that they are fighting for something bigger than themselves, and they can't let anyone get flushed away for the selfish needs of one person. Trying to break up that freaking Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels split here.
Honestly,
Trying to push that. Berto's going to be the single star. I can feel it.
I would. Honestly, they both could just go down and just Triple H might release them all. I had to say that. They'll go to AAA instead.
No, it's not a bad shout. I mean, WWE does own it now, so they could
Exactly.
just send these guys there. That's actually, yeah, shit. I completely forgot about the AAA acquisition. They could just send people there now if they wanted to. All right, then that'll be interesting.
Would be very
Yeah, that
interesting.
we'll see how that unfolds probably next week. But for now, we get Shinsuke Nakamura for the first time since losing his U.S. title. I'm pretty sure. For some reason, throws a ton of shade at LA Knight and calls out Aleister Black, saying that he's afraid of the dark. Says that he will beat them both when he qualifies for Money in the Bank ladder match. But let's be real, you're only here to eat a pin.
Hmm.
My prediction: LA Knight gets taken out by Solo, JC, and Fatu, and then Nakamura gets pinned by Black.
Oh,
That's
holy
that's
shit!
my shout. That's my shout.
That's insane. I fuck with that actually.
hmm Now though, we'll get the rundown of SmackDown. We just talked about the men's Money in the Bank qualifier between Knight, Nakamura, and Aleister Black. Women's Money in the Bank qualifier has me going crazy because we got Zelina Vega in there versus Charlotte Flair versus Julia on our SmackDown debut.
Let's
Like
go.
Charlotte and Julia in the ring at the same time in her first SmackDown match for Julia
Let's
is
go.
nuts. And then you got potential for Zelina Vega in there to set up a U.S. title program with either one of them by her getting pinned potentially by one of them,
I think Charlotte's going
which
to qualify, and Zelina and Julia are going to go after Julia's going to go after Charlotte or Zelina. Jesus.
Zelina, that would
Hmm.
be pretty cool. I would really like that. I would really just either one at this point, just thinking about it. Just whoever qualifies goes for that, and whoever doesn't goes after Zelina in that. But we also have a tag team title match that we talked about at the beginning of the show, Fraxium and the Street Profits. And before we get to the main event world title match, Tiffy Time is walking backstage getting ready for her match where she is stopped by Jade Cargill. She says good luck, and she says that it doesn't matter who wins because she is next in line. She talks about winning her qualifying match for Money in the Bank, and she will win her first world title the same way Tiffany did. This is when we see Naomi lurking in the background, and I thought she was going to attack someone here, but that's going to come later. Tiffany says that maybe she will win her qualifier and maybe she will be good enough to win that briefcase, but she will never be good enough to cash in on Tiffany successfully. So, toodles,
Toodles.
toodles. It's Tiffy time all the time. Damn straight.
Agreed.
We get our main event now. It is the WWE Women's Championship. Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. And my big question going into this is where the fuck did Candice LeRae go?
That's a very good fucking question.
Like this was supposed to be a whole pairing between these guys, and I honestly expected her, if she would have made her return, to be in this match to try and help Nia, but no, didn't happen.
Was Candace released?
I didn't. She may have been.
No,
Maybe I missed it.
I don't think so.
Not sure, but we'll get going as the match gets cooking. Nia has all the power in the beginning and catches the handspring elbow, hanging her up on the top rope, but she gives her a nasty hip attack on the ring post. As they brawl outside of the ring, Nia is given a Hurricane Rana into the ring post, turning it around for a second until a Samoan drop and a senton ends it. On the top rope, Nia attempts a slam, but Tiffany twists midair to hit a Spanish fly type move thing.
Let's
Then
go.
Naomi arrives with a chair and her new theme, which I actually kind of like. As both go down, she's followed soon later by Jade Cargill as they fight through the crowd. Nia charges, though, into the ring post and is hit with a PME, but for the first time ever, someone kicks out of it. And I didn't realize it was the first time that had happened.
I did not know that
That was
either.
crazy. And after a Samoan drop on the desk, Nia goes for an Annihilator, but Tiffany attempts a powerbomb counter, and the counter is countered with an Annihilator. That actually looked pretty nasty. It looked like she straight up just squashed Tiffy, and she grabs the ropes to break up the pin. I need to grab a drink, sorry.
Take your time. Take your
After
time.
getting the belt for a distraction, then later a chair, Nia gets the steel drop kicked into her face, immediately causing blood to flow, and that was like insane. If you've seen the pictures online afterwards,
I
that was
have
a
seen the
nasty cut.
pictures. Hmm.
This is followed with an PME and a 1-2-3 for the champion. And hell yeah, let's go Tiffy.
It's Tiffy time all the time. Oh God.
Tiffy time all the time, still the champion. And it looks like she might be facing either Naomi or Jade Cargill next.
So
Mm-hmm. Dude, Jade Cargill versus her at SummerSlam would go crazy. But yeah.
I'm excited for Tiffy versus a lot of people. I'm excited for Tiffy versus Jade. I honestly want to see Tiffy versus Charlotte ran back. There's another one that I wanted. I forget who it was. Tiffy versus Alexa. That's who it was.
Yeah, that would be really good too.
We can't wait for that as well. If that ever happens.
Yeah, that'd be freaking amazing. Anyone versus Tiffy right now. She's like got a lineup of dream matches for her.
Easily.
Well, with that being said, we're going to move now into our highlight of the night. Alex, how about you? What you got for your highlight of the night?
Praxium versus DIY, and just because the match was a very solid match. Favorite part of it, though, was Ciampa flying into the crowd.
Yeah, Ciampa getting launched into the crowd was hilarious. You saw that because people literally flying in like a lady's lap or some shit. They all start losing their shit.
Let's go, Ciampa.
No, right. I
But yeah,
agree,
mine
though.
was just a match.
My highlight of the night is the same. Fraxium versus DIY. That was a phenomenal match. And really, like, once again, makes you realize that, like, they've got a fire, like, tag division on SmackDown. They just really need to take advantage of it more.
Yeah. And I'm saying that, and they even have a better one than Raw does by far.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
Exactly. But that's what calling back to, like, Raw reviews and all that with, like, Seth's group. I feel like you could really freshen up the Raw tag division if you did have a tag group in that sub thing of like what Seth has going on.
Yeah,
You can
whatever
get
the hell
Breaker,
Seth has going on.
Sammy joining it like you've called out would be insane, and he tags with Breaker after their beef.
I have no clue, dude.
That'd be
It's
insane.
a lot.
At the end of
I'm
the day, could be
excited.
even wrong. It could just not be a tag group with that at all. But yeah,
Honestly, I'm excited though for Fraxium's future. We'll say.
yeah, me too. Me too. Excited to see what happens with the draft too when that eventually happens, because hopefully that'll open up a litany of new matches for like Fraxium, Tiffany Stratton, Fatu, all these guys that we're always hyping up. But with that being said, we got anything more for the SmackDown review show?
I do not.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all hop onto our socials. It is AR Wrestling _ for Twitter. Insta is AR _ Wrestling _ Spotify, Apple Pod, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can get your podcast, AR Wrestling Podcast. YouTube is AR Wrestling 1020, and Twitch, once we get started on it, will be twitch.tv /AR _ Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you'll be on the lookout for Saturday Night Main Event content and other weekly reviews. And as always, we will catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.